Experience has shown that even under the best forms of government, those entrusted with power have in time and with slow operations will pervert it into tyranny. In America, your government is no different. Governed by God or by tyrants. But since we live amongst men, our founders framed this country to say that man was granted. What's going on, America? It's your boy CHARLIEINTHEBOX, the patriotic miscreant. What I'm going to have in my box today is going to be, how in the hell does the United States government got the freaking balls to change the definition of words and laws when they don't got the damn authority to do it? See, man is ultimately going to be governed by God or by tyrants. And since we live amongst men, we need a set of laws that govern the government. Of certain rights, man was granted to them by the creators and not tyrants. Because governments will never be inclined to give people rights. They always take them away. And our founders framed this nation with three branches of government: the legislation, the executive, and the judicial. The legislative branch writes up laws and they pass them. They get to your president and he likes them over and he signs them into law. And the last safeguard that we have is your judicial branch. They can't ever make laws or write them, but they judge them. And if they fall within the constitutionality, the way they were written, they're a law of the land. But the Supreme Court this past week said they're just going to change some words in a law that's already been passed and that's been on the books. Even though they have no authority to do it, they're doing it anyways. Now they say across the freaking country, gay marriage is legal. Even though we in our individual states said no, that doesn't freaking matter. Even though we as people in our communities and our churches say no, it's against our religion and our beliefs, that doesn't matter. See, the greatest danger to America is a government that ignores its Constitution. In America, they're ignoring the Constitution. Today, they're trying to change the very definition of words like marriage. They're saying this isn't a bond just between a male and a female, but two males or two females could do it. But they don't got the authority to do it. This isn't just nature's law, but this is God's law. God created male and female. And the only way any species flourishes, if they come together, they form a bond and create new life. The sanctity of marriage since the beginning of time has always been and always will be between a male and a female, and no government got authority to change it. Today they're trying to change the very definition of genders. It's not just between a male and a female, there's a lot of them out there. How about all those people that were born with male and female genitals? What do you say about that? Our gender is decided when we're conceived, in the womb. And in the womb, when you're birthed into this world, either a male or female, and that's it. I'm sorry, when they gave you those vaccinations, they gave you hormone mimickers and other stuff that messes up the genetics of the way the baby's mind is being formed, that when you grew up, you're really confused of who you are with all the propagandas and stuff that they're feeding to us in our schools, the indoctrination and the acceptance of homosexuality in America, that you're really confused in your life today. But at your conception, you were born with either a penis or a vagina. That's who you are. We're sorry that you feel that you're a man trapped in a woman's body, or you're a woman trapped in a man's body, and you change your appearance to look the opposite. But in the end, you're either standing up when you go pee or wiping yourself. There's only two genders, male or female. The world's going through economic and social change. You want to know America's future economically? Look to Greece. They're a few years ahead of us, and the only reason why we're not at their depth that they are is because we have a fiat currency. Not a fiat, but a fiat. Look it up. We're going through some economic issues today. We could choose to ignore it, but eventually it's going to come to bite us in the ass. The only reason why our government gets away with what they get away with is because we give our consent as Americans. By not saying something is saying something. By not doing something is doing something. If you had a loved one, a brother-in-law, that came to your house, you guys had fun, you guys drank, you guys went on vacations, but it come to find out that when you fell asleep, he was molesting one of your children, would you allow him to come over anymore and visit? No. You would eventually, because your child told you the truth, you would protect them from anybody that wishes to would come to do them harm. So the only reason why our government gets away with what they do is because we allow them to do it. Today in California, they're telling us that we have to vaccinate our children or they cannot go to public school. But if enough of us united and we all stood and said, no, we are not going to vaccinate our kids, we are not going to comply, they can't make us. You're going to say that they're going to send 80% of the students home and they're not going to be welcome? That's farther from the truth. Why? Because they need the kids in the seats. That's how they get paid, because of the head count. Why do you think they take roll every day? Because that's how much money they're going to be funded in the future. So we could block them if we all stood together. They're going to have to try to come up with another way to convince us to get these vaccinations. But as long as we as Americans don't stand for something, we're going to continuously fall for everything. Charlie Box, the patriotic miscreant. So if you're not going to do everything in your power to restore your life, liberty, and this country, you're going to do everything in your power to destroy it. Charlie Box out.
Charlie Box, baby.